Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is the weekly read for the sign of Capricorn. Today we're going to be doing June 24th to the 1st of July. How you doing, Capricorns? We're going to get your two Romance Angel Oracle cards out for this last week of June 2019. I hope everything's going well with you guys. Thank you for checking out the video. And we're going to get right into it. Show me the two energies this week for our lovely Capricorns. Show me. This is about any major relationship that you're dealing with this week, whether it's with a friend, a lover, a family member, or whoever. We're just going to look at the dynamic of that relationship this week. Show me. All right. Your first card, Capricorn, is it's safe for you to love. And separation. Wow, separation's been coming out a lot. And it's safe for you to love. Interesting. So, we're going to see how these two play into your life this week. You know, they could both be for you, but for different sides of the same relationship, right? They could be for your person. All right. So, let's see. Let's see how these factor in. We'll get your 7 cards out. What's going on with our lovely Capricorns this week? June 24th, July 1st. Capricorn Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Capricorn. Show me. Show me what's going on. We want to get a clear picture. Dynamic of this relationship this week for Capricorn. What are these cards about? These Angel Oracle cards. Give me a deeper insight. Show me. Capricorn, your card for this week's relationship is 7 of Cups. So this is about, you know, the center theme of the week for you in general, right? Not necessarily about the relationship, but where you're at, right? Here's your card, your person's card, and the relationship. And here's your person, their card for you, and their card for a relationship. At the bottom of the deck is 4 of Cups. So this card just came out for the last few readings. Came out for Aries, right? So right now, yeah, this week is all about kind of wish fulfillment. 7 of Cups, right? Talks about the wishes and dreams we have for ourselves, you know, daydreaming, you know, pondering, you know, when we like fantasize about what we'd like to be, who we'd like to be, what, you know, what kind of life we'd like to live, right? So you're very much feeling like that right now. You're feeling like you're starting to feel that, you know, you can start to fantasize about it a little bit. There's possibilities coming in, but just take care of what you wish for. Take care of what you really the visions or what you visualize for your future and your desires, because oftentimes we wish for things that we think will make us happy and it doesn't truly make us happy. So inherent in 7 of Cups is the need to take real time as well and really dig deep and think about what is truly important to you, right? And then formulate your desires and wishes, your goals along those lines. Certainly not what you think society or other people around you, parents or friends, decide for you, right? So that's an example. Really, or what you have been taught you should attain, you know. You know, they say, you know, the marriage, 2 children and a dog and a picket fence and all that. That's not everyone's real wish, right? So whatever your wish really is for you, a lot of it being on the right path to manifest that is all about making sure you visualize the right wish, the right desires, the ones that really click with who you are. Otherwise, you just come into conflict, you know. But you're feeling great right now, right? And I think it's safe for you to start wishing and daydreaming and fantasizing about the life you'd like to live, you know, some maybe bombastic goals that you might have, because right now you're King of Pentacles. You're doing very well, right? You're doing well financially. You're becoming, if you're not stable, you are about to become extremely stable. But you've done well, you know. You're the man. You've attained everything you needed to attain, right? The King of Pentacles is very kind of, he's known for his abilities, right? He is respected, right? His talents and his achievements are respected, right? He has a high level of respect from his peers and his colleagues. He's the one that people go to for investments, you know. This is not to say that you're ready to invest in anything, but this is just to say that, you know, you're at a point in your life where people seek you out for your ideas, to collaborate with you, perhaps to work on new projects, and you're feeling very, very stable. You're certainly feeling like you're safe. It is safe for you to fantasize about what you'd like in your life, and therefore now we understand the first card. It is safe for you to love, right? Now we understand why this card has come out. You know, I could talk off the top of my head when I first pull these cards and just guess at it, but oftentimes it's a lot deeper than just what's written on the card. I mean, anyone can, you know, you could read that for yourself. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. But it's now that we get into the spread that we understand why that is for you. Why is it safe for you to love now? Because you've attained a certain amount of physical, financial stability that has allowed you to now take a moment and think about these things, right? And think about love, think about possible relationships, right? Could be very much that up until now you haven't really allowed yourself to do that because you've been on your grind. You've been working, right? You've been doing a lot to get yourself stable. For you, Capricorn, stability is necessary before you have any kind of passionate affairs or loves or anything. Before you devote your time to any kind of love, it's quite necessary for you to be stable. You know, it's part of your process, you know, and I get that, right? But now is the time for which is very safe for you. Okay? As far as your person, right? You see them as kind of like, right now you're Eight of Swords, right? And it could be that you're seeing them a little bit kind of isolated. You're a little bit isolated from them. I don't know, you know, there's 8 is the number of boundaries, right? Strengths and weaknesses, but it can also be boundaries, responsibilities, taking responsibility. 8 of Swords is a victim card. So it could be very much like whoever this person is who's coming into you, right, this week, and taking kind of up a lot of your psychic energy. You see them, it could be that you see them very much as this energy, as like this kind of victim. Now, it could be that you see them as someone who plays the victim a little bit, right? This could be an old friend. I'm starting to feel like, Capricorn. You know, you've got 4 of Cups here. This is when a cup is offered to you. It looks much the same as all the other cups you had that were dissatisfactory. And now with separation and it is safe for you to love, I almost feel like somebody this week is coming into your life from your past who you may have had a relationship with. You don't necessarily want a relationship with them again. And you see now this week very much how they have been playing the victim. 8 of Swords is the type of person, you see they're bound and they're kind of blindfolded. But this is kind of their own making. You know, it's their own kind of rigid thinking. It's their own kind of destructive way of communicating with people. People, 8 of Swords, an 8 of Swords energy person is someone who's always arguing their point. They're always right. You know what I mean? You can never be right. Their opinion is the best opinion. Nobody else's opinion matters, right? And they isolate themselves from others because of this, right? This rigid way of conducting themselves ends up isolating and alienating themselves from others. And they find themselves being quite alone, just like this figure is. But almost alone and surrounded by the swords of their own kind of, you know what I mean? Messed up behaviors, really, right? And so this is also the person who's like, well, if you didn't act this way, I wouldn't have to act that way. This is the person who never takes responsibility for themselves either. You know, everything they always find a way to say, well, you know, if you hadn't done this, I wouldn't have had to do that, right? So a lot of their actions are based on, you know, are basically reactionary is what they're saying, but yet at the same time they have this attitude of always being right. So it's like this really weird mishmash of having no confidence and no self-esteem and being entirely overconfident for no reason. And you kind of see this person, and it could be that up until now you haven't really seen them for what they were. You may have envisioned them before to be like, because Seven of Cups does talk about kind of daydreamy, not necessarily seeing clarity, but, you know, seeing the best, you know, fantasizing. You know, you don't fantasize about nightmares, right? You fantasize about things you want. And when you fantasize about people, sometimes when you think about people, you see them in a certain light. Sometimes you're unwilling to take in everything about them, yet now you see this about this person. Your relationship with them you don't see as necessarily positive either. You feel like it's a relationship perhaps of codependency. There could be a lot of kind of like drugs and drinking, partying involved, right? A lot of things that tempt kind of lusts and passions. Capricorn, you know, we know that you do have that like sneaky, freaky side that you like to keep hidden from the world. It could be that this person and you know, was one of the few people who indulged that side with you for quite some time. Maybe in the past when you were in a relationship with them. But now you don't see this relationship as being productive at all. You look at it as something that's tempting you down a road that you don't want to go. Your person sees themselves as wanting something with you, right? They want the whole shebang. They see you as a great catch. It could be that before they played a lot of games with you. You may not have been you may not have reached your King of Pentacles, right? And they may have sometimes used you for when they needed you, but when they didn't need you, they didn't need you. You know what I mean? This could be like the girl or the guy who comes from a wealthy family, and they don't, you know what I mean? They always put you through this kind of like, well, are you good enough? But yet but yet they want to sneak off with you and be with you. It's that kind of really messed up, like wanting you, but also like treating, you know, talking down or treating you as somehow less because maybe you weren't up at the same level as them, right? This could be some of that energy that you guys maybe had before, but now they see you doing well. They see you're doing your King of Pentacles, and you've probably had some achievement right now, right? You may be, your business or your career may have taken a higher level, and now they see you as this great catch. They see that you two should be together. They see themselves with you, and they see how it's going to benefit them as well, as far as bringing them a lot of like money and affluence and status, you know what I mean? And they very much have that attitude of like, you are now going to complete them. And I think that's come from the fact that they used to be able to kind of manipulate you a little bit before in the past. And I think it may have ended on them leaving you in a way, certainly, right? Like them kind of like splitting from you or letting go of you when you were kind of at one point perhaps willing to still work with them or hold on to them. And so now they feel like they have the upper hand. They feel like, well, because they left you, they can always come back and get you back in, right? But you're not having it. You're Four of Cups, Capricorn, and you're not having it. You're just like, yeah, I'm good with that. You've like, you know what I mean? Like you're at a whole nother space right now, right? You know it's safe to love, but you know it's not safe to love this person, right? This person you want separation from. And the way they see you is very much like, yeah, they're looking back and they're seeing you as a Nine of Wands. So they know that you've come from a really long road. I think they also see you as somebody who has done a lot, like, on your own. They certainly do admire you for that, right? And I think that it could be very much like in the past they may have doubted your ability to get to King of Pentacles, right? And now they see, they remember, you know, they're looking back and remembering on, I don't know that they'll admit this to you, right? They may not ever admit this to you, but I think It's almost a case of like they were a naysayer at one point, you know, like, oh, you're never gonna get it, you're never gonna, your business is never gonna make it. It could be one of the reasons why they left you, right, or why they separated from you, and now they see that you're a success. They see, you know, they kind of realize they were wrong, right? They kind of realize, you know, they're looking back and realizing, wow, you know, they see you as this character, someone who's really worked very hard, who's about to accomplish all of, you know, their goals, and having gone through a really long battle and struggle. They also see that you're about to be in a space where they can't reach you. There used to be a time they could reach you emotionally, you know, mentally, and certainly on the physical wealth level, but emotionally and mentally, there used to be a time where they could always reach you. But once they see that you're about to come to a place in your life that once you complete this cycle truly and get to really the elevated place where you're about to be at, they won't even be able to reach you anymore mentally or emotionally. You won't, you know what I mean? They they see that you're going to be like at another level. You see what I'm saying? It's almost as if I want to describe it as like, I want to describe it as, say you're the guy who's been working in a department in a company, and you've been dating the girl who's your supervisor's secretary, right? And she works for your supervisor. She doesn't have a relationship or anything, but she works for your supervisor. So she works for your boss, right? So she's a little bit up from you, right? And you guys had a relationship, and somewhere along the line, you've been working on some kind of project, right? That was like on the side, you've been working on some kind of invention or project, and you've been doing it for a long time. And she had, you know, she's your girlfriend. She had no faith in you. She didn't believe you could make it. She didn't believe that you could do it, right? And then you guys break up, right? And then one day, maybe 2-3 years later, you're walking into the same company, but now you're walking into the company because you're about to have a meeting with their shareholders, right? About them buying your invention and you having a large stake in the company. Right? So this is what I'm talking about. This is like an example of what I mean, where in the past they thought they were, you know, they maybe treated you in such a way where they made you feel like you were never going to get to where you were at. They didn't, you know what I mean, pie in the sky. They're the ones probably who had a little bit more money than you at the time. And so now the secretary is still where she's at, right? But she sees you walking in, and now she gets frantic because she's like, oh my God, I might still have a chance with him, but once he owns this company, I'll never see him again. I'll never have a chance with him again. You know, he's going to be physically, mentally, and spiritually in a place where he's not even going to want to, like, he's not even going to want to talk to me, right? And that's what I'm talking about. That kind of thing, you know? And that's how they see you. And they very much are like Nine of Pentacles. Look at this is the relationship, right? They see the relationship as really being one that would put them in a lot of luxury. You know, they see you doing very well. This person is quite a monetary person. They think of a lot of money. You know, for the two cards, one that is representing them and the relationship, they're both pentacles. So the person is a very kind of materialistic person, right? They're very materialistic, and I think they see this relationship as something that could certainly keep them in, let's say, diamonds and furs, you know what I mean? Or keep a man kept or something like that. Like just keep them, you know, comfortable. I don't think they realize that you see kind of through them now. You know, I don't think they realize how you see them. Give me some insight on this reading for our lovely Capricorns. Like I said, I think they really truly believe that, you know, they can use the kind of same tactics that they used before, Capricorn. You know, that they can say the same things or, you know, wear the same outfits or whatever it is. And they feel like they can, male, female, right, folks? You know, it doesn't matter, but it's that energy, you know. If it's a man, you know, he thinks he can put on the same swag or the same game. If it's a female, she thinks like she can wear that same red dress and the same set of heels that always had your knees weak. You know what I mean? But now you see her or him very much as somebody who's like quite a manipulator. You know, you don't feel like you want to, you can't really communicate with them as well as on the same level as you used to, right? And you feel very much like you want to put boundaries up with this person. Show me a deeper insight for a lovely Capricorn. Show me. Interestingly enough, they have 2 9s in their area. 9 is the number for being alone, lonely. It can be loneliness as well. Sometimes it can be the relationship to the self as well, but it has an indication of being alone, you know, as part of some of the meetings. It's quite interesting that this person all this time is still quite on their own, right? They're still quite on their own, and they're almost, you know, and they're still there, you know, wanting to come into you now, especially now that you've achieved so much. Show me. 8 of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, and Justice. There you go. Yeah. Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands, and 8 of Cups. Yeah. 7 of Cups at the bottom. Wish fulfillment confirmed. There you go. There's the second 7 of Cups. So that fulfills, you know, that confirms that this is right now for you. Certainly, this is very much about you deciding what you want to do for your goals, how you want to move forward. You feel safe to love someone again. But I'm not sure, like, this is not necessarily like you're calling this person in. This person, you know, somehow you guys ran into each other or found out about each other. Somehow this person has come in from the past. But this is as much about perhaps closing or closing some karma with this person or getting some closure with this person as anything, right? I don't think they factor into your dreams, future dreams, or in your desire to love someone. I think this is an old kind of like wound or schism issue that needs to now finally be dealt with. Here's another 8. So Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles coming out. So again, another 8. Boundaries. Setting boundaries, right? 8 of Pentacles is all about being disciplined and putting your nose to the grindstone. You don't have time for bullshit. You don't have time for diversions, right? You're very focused, and that's where you see yourself. You just don't have the time for anybody who wants to kind of like suddenly wave their kind of emotional issues in your face. Knight of Wands, yeah, you're burning through all of that now. You know, yeah, you've seen them, you know, Knight of Wands comes in and he's very fiery, right? It could be very much that, could be that this person has come back to you kind of with an attitude of like, you know, perhaps that they've changed, right? Or that something's different, right? Because you got Knight of Wands over 8 of Swords. These are the cards for how you see them. So it could very much be that, you know, whereas before things were quite neurotic with them, now they're kind of acting like they've got their shit together. They're ready to come in. You know, they're successful in their own right and all of this stuff, right? So it could be that that's what they're saying to you, or that's the impression that they're giving you to kind of pay attention, right? But I don't know if you're going to go for it. Right? I don't know if you're going to go for it. And here we go. Here's Justice. I think you want to wait and see. Give me proof. Show me proof. Right? I think you're like, I don't think you're necessarily believing this Knight of Wands act that they're putting on as if they're riding in like the knight in shining armor, or, you know, they're coming in like they've done all of this work on themselves and they're not the neurotic person that they were 2 years ago. And I think you're like, yeah, but, you know, this relationship led to nothing but temptation and being a slave, a codependent to like a lot of negative shit. I'd rather wait for some proof. Justice is there. You know, show me something, you know, show me something that makes me believe you, because quite frankly, right now, it's like, you know, I don't believe you. You know what I mean? And like, you don't believe them. You know, you see how it has been before. You know, one thing leads to another. You know, your vision is clear, and it's kind of like, yeah, you're also feeling very much like it's about time. You know, it's about time you stand up to them, right? It's about time you get what you want, which is not being manipulated by them. That you hold them to accountability, right? And that you hold them to some sort of level of like show, accountability in as much as, well, show me. Show me how you've changed. Prove to me that you've changed, plead your case, don't just come in with like words and then it's the same manipulation it is again. Certainly they feel like they can, look at this, Queen of Cups over Ten of Pentacles. They certainly feel like they can just schmooze you back out of the trees and into their arms, It's like just schmooze. They think they can turn on that Queen of Cups energy, bare their heart to you, put their heart in their sleeve for you, and you're just going to come in for them. Again, a lot of the readings this week have been like this. A lot of people have been dealing with old people who are coming in for them. And it makes perfect sense because the readings before the last weeks have all been about people getting their dreams coming in, closing off karmic cycles, right? Getting their wish fulfillment, things elevating, right? A lot of really positive, elevating readings the weeks before. And it's quite interesting because it almost seems now like for a lot of people, all of these old relationships, friends, boyfriends, girlfriends, see you elevating, and it's like all these assholes are coming back to get a piece, and nobody's there for it. Nobody's there for it. None of you are there for it. There you go, Queen of Wands. That's how they see you. They see you on fire, like Queen of Wands. They see what you've gone through. Queen of Wands is very, very close to Nine of Wands energy, but she's completely transformed. She's the queen, but she's certainly been at a Nine of Wands stage at one point or another. The Queen of Wands is transformed by her experience and her wisdom. She is, she's almost like the High Priestess in motion. Right? She comes forward where the High Priestess doesn't come forward, but the Queen of Wands comes forward. She's passionate. She moves. She has a lot of momentum. She's very true to her focus. And she can't be stopped. She can't be swayed, right? She purifies. Wherever she's at, she purifies. So you can't really be in her presence with a lot of bullshit for too long. She'll call you on it. It's almost difficult to be in the presence of somebody as Queen of Wands energy and kind of even begin to perpetrate a fraud because you generally start to feel stupid the moment they even look at you, right? So that's how they see you, and it's like quite interesting because there's a healthy kind of like awe that they have of you now, right? Whereas before, like I said, they may have downplayed you. They may have very much made you feel like victimized, but deep down they have a kind of awe and this like real deep kind of, I don't want to say it's respect because it's not real respect, but it's like a envy. They envy your power. They want your power. They want to covet a bit of it. They want to be a part of it. They want it, but they're a little scared of it, and they're a little bit, and they wish they had it themselves. You know what I mean? And they're a little bit like, now that they see you kind of in your full glory of King of Pentacles, doing very, very well, very successful on a level which they totally resonate with, which is a financial level. Even though that may not be what's important to you, it certainly is for them. So for them, this is all extremely exciting, but, trying to get back into your life, right? But yeah, they certainly see you as Queen of Wands, and it's a little bit kind of awe-inspiring for them. Here we go. Yeah, they see the relationship. They see the fantasy or what they could have had, Nine of Pentacles, living in the lap of luxury. But also there is Eight of Cups. And I think that's what they're going to come out with because you're turning your back. And I think you're going to be putting boundaries in. It's another 8. So that's the second 8. Third 8. Excuse me. That's the third 8 in the reading. Right? So this is all about boundaries, putting boundaries in place, right? 8s are about boundaries. So even though they feel like, they wish they see the relationship themselves as in this being in this garden, right, with you, right? This is how they see themselves in the relationship, like being taken care of. But the reality of it is that you're going to be turning your back, and they see that they're not going to have, they see that the boundaries are going to be put up. You're not there for it anymore. You're not there for the same things anymore. And unfortunately, that's where they're at with you, and how they take that would be, the next series of time, right? But it's certainly going to be quite interesting because they're going to have to just really, it's almost as if that you turn your back on them in such a way that they're just stumped. They don't even know what to say, right? They don't even know what to say because, again, at the same time, they're a very materialistic person. And although you're doing very well materially, which is what's turning them kind of on, you're not necessarily a materialistic person, Capricorn. And so when you turn your head away from them for certain reasons that have nothing to do with what they would imagine, they kind of get dumbfounded. And, you know, they're kind of struck, you know. So this is it. This is your reading, Capricorn, for June 24th to July 1st. Somebody coming in from your past trying to get a piece. And, yeah, I don't know that you want to give them that piece no more. So, yeah, if this resonated with you, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and share. If you want to schedule a private reading with me, just follow that link at the bottom of the video. But for right now, I'm just going to tell y'all have a wonderful, wonderful last week of June. Bye-bye, Capricorn.